whom we believe has been most instrumental in making that happen. When the City Council began holding daily briefings at the Crown Plaza in Fort Myers, the person who reassured us that we'll get through this, who laid out the recovery plan in detail, who brought in the experts from state DEP, DOT, FEMA, Crowder Gulf. Those are the guys who drive those big trucks and pick up the debris. LCEC, we had no power for quite a while. And the man who directed our superb police and public works teams as they did their parts on the ground. That was our city manager, Dana Souza. Dana had been with us for only a little over a year, having previously been the City of Naples interim city manager. With the benefit of hindsight, our city council could not have made a better choice in selecting Dana Souza to be the city manager. It therefore gives me great pleasure to award COTI's 2023 Citizen of the Year Award to City Manager Dana Souza.
I've given him out more than Larry asked me if I had a few words to say. This is my list. Mayor, former mayor, and I were in Tallahassee. This was our list of funding requests.
And hopefully we're getting them.
So thank you, Larry, and members of the board who decided to award this Citizen of the Year award to me. And I am honored to receive this award. I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can see my notes. It's that time of life. I think most of you understand. But it's really an honor to receive this award from the Committee of the Islands because, as Larry said in his introduction, your purpose, your sole purpose for existing is to preserve the quality of life for our sanctuary. And that is so critical in communities and the period that we live in where there's so much development pressure on lots of communities, particularly beachfront communities. And to have a city council, city staff, or citizens committee who is dedicated to that purpose is absolutely critical, and why I feel so honored to receive this, because it does come from the citizens who are dedicated to the quality of life here in Sanibel. And so a couple of things. Many of you know that positions of leadership can be really terrific positions. They come with benefits, but they also can be periods of loneliness, especially when there's crisis or controversy. Thankfully, I have, who is both my rock and my heart, Kara, who's my wife, who's here, and my younger son. Two older boys who live away. There's a sacrifice that goes along for them as well when we have a time like we've all faced, and that is me being absent from home. And unfortunately, we faced this before with some other storms and events in our life where I've been called to work, but I can't thank them enough for the support that they give me every day. The City Council, we have Mayor Johnson, Vice Mayor Miller is here, and former Mayor Smith, Councilwoman Smith are here. John Henshaw is not, Scott Crater is not. But as Larry was going through the list of things that we accomplished post-storm and the response that we had, I was the person in front of the microphone, but I can tell you that we were unified, and that there were many conversations, and there were suggestions about who to bring, what our community needed to hear. You provided input to your council members provided input to me, and that's how we have worked continually during my tenure. But it really worked incredibly well during this crisis, and your council members and the leadership they provided also need to be recognized. And I accept this award really on behalf of all city employees who respond not just over a hurricane emergency, but their call to public service. I'm honored to be their colleague, and they serve with honor and distinction this island, this community every day. Without their efforts, there would be no award for me, for anyone, and I'm keenly aware of that and the support that they provide to this organization every day. There's also many other community partners that responded, and that includes our Sanibel Fire District, Lee County Sheriff's Department, the incredible nonprofits that we have here on Sanibel, the state of Florida, who's, even though they've done wonderful things for us and provided all the funds to clean up the island, we do have a lot more that we are asking for them. And the volunteers, just if you were driving from Sanibel this morning, you likely saw the volunteers at Ding Darling who were still out there gathering debris and cleaning up the island, and I know that happens on a weekly basis. So thank you to all of them. Aside from the hurricane, we had a pretty great year. Organizationally, as a community, there is no brighter spot to work or to live than Sanibel. And we, as an organization, we accomplished a lot as well last year. We went through our strategic planning process, which is the first that the city had been through in quite some time. And there were town hall meetings, there was a retreat that was open to the public, and there were some very aggressive strategic goals that city council adopted. And then on September 28th came in, the storm came in and didn't wash them all away, but they did delay them. So the April 12th meeting, we'll be talking with council about what our adjusted strategic goals are to finish this year, and then how we're going to move those forward into the next couple of fiscal years. I want to also end with a quote that I have carried with me and I've had posted in my office for many, many years. And it's a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He says, the ultimate measure, I'm going to ad-lib this a little bit. The ultimate measure of a person is not where he or she stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he or she stands in time of challenge and controversy. And I'll end it there. The quote goes on, as we all know, that was about the struggle for civil rights, but there's commonality in any crisis or struggle that we face. And how we respond as a community and individuals to each other and the needs that are out there is what is critically important and is what makes us unique and strong. So as individuals, organizations, families, and as a community, we have stood steadfast and united in the face of Hurricane Ian's challenges. We will be better on the other side because of our perseverance, our kindness to each other, please don't forget that, our deliberateness and approach, our optimism, and our union as a community. And I'm an old sailor. I don't sail right now, but I'm an old sailor, so I'll close with a sailing metaphor, and that is, when a storm comes, sometimes you get locked in irons, whether it's intentional or whether it's accidental, which means you're not making any forward progress. And I've always preferred that you close haul, which means you pull the sails tight and you head straight into the wind. You can't sail directly into the wind, but you get a point of angle off of that and you sail into it. And it might be choppy, it might be bumpy, and there might be struggles along the way. But when you make it through the other side, you will have fair winds and following seas. And Sanibel will have fair winds and following seas. Thanks to all of you. Thank you.
Dana, a lovely crystal vase hand etched by Lou Century, which is a tradition around here.
So if we were playing sports, I would be doing this, right?